Rap music about Jesus? You guys gotta be kidding me. In one of New York's roughest, toughest neighborhoods. See, kids in this neighborhood, they'll learn about Jesus if they hear about him in a rap song.
That's word to Big Bird. Now I live my life right.
They started hanging out together at the Graffiti Baptist Center, and the rest, as they say, is like history or something.
Used to go to graffiti to help the needy.
For the graffiti rappers, the music starts out small, sitting out on a stoop on the Lower East Side, coming up with rhymes.
I give you a beat.
Hey, rap songs don't just come along. You know what I'm saying?
EMDOGZ.
See, this type of rap nobody's really familiar with, to be honest, you know.
Well, that starts us off on another Pineapple podcast.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just like to pick some weird videos to throw at the beginning of podcasts, and I came across that one today, and I was like, seems appropriate talking to a rapper, you
Right.
know? Like, just a couple rappers talking. I don't know who these guys are, but I don't know. Like, apparently, it looks like mid-90s wear.
Yeah, and kind of like the resolution of the video is definitely older.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know where they might be being interviewed by like a local ABC.
yeah, definitely like some local news outlet.
Mm-hmm.
I was interested to see what he was about to say. Like, what do people not comprehend about it?
Dude, let's play it. Let's finish this out.
When I say Jesus, you
Oh, he
say
doesn't tell
Christ.
us.
Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. When I say Jesus, you say Christ. Jesus Christ,
Rapping for the
Jesus
Lord.
Christ. When I say Jesus, you say Christ. Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. When I say Jesus,
That's
you say
definitely
Christ.
like-
Jesus
thought I told you that
Christ,
we ain't gonna
Jesus
stop.
Christ.
So it's definitely
I
like
certainly
90s.
can't rap,
Yeah.
but I can make a pretty mean map.
I can't rap, but I can make a pretty mean map. I like that.
I don't know what woke me up more, this coffee or that last guy, that guy at the end there.
Dude, he had some energy.
Yeah, he did. I thought that was Bob Ross.
Dude, he had some Bob Ross vibes.
Yeah, he did. I thought he was like, I could paint a mean picture for you.
I could paint. Gosh. So, for everybody that doesn't know you, if you want to give like a short introduction.
Yeah,
like,
sure. Abstract that rapper. Little boy from Georgetown, South Carolina, who likes to rap, who moved to college at Charleston to further his education in business, and found some really deep roots and started yelling in front of microphones more frequently, and just figuring it out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm really bad. Like, I can talk about, I can keep up, but like when this comes to talking about myself, it's kind of weird because it's like, that's my intro.
Yeah.
You know, I just like to rap. Things have just worked out. Some things haven't, but even that works out in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, abstract that rapper.
Yeah. Dude, it's funny because, like, we were talking just a second ago about, like, you know, us just, like, kind of just, like, through I only went to college Charleston for, like, half a semester.
Mm-hmm.
And then just kind of, like, ran into somebody,
Mm-hmm.
and they told me to meet you, and then I met
It
you.
was Dylan.
Yeah, it was Dylan.
I
It
live
was
right
Dylan.
across the street from Dylan.
Oh, real?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool
It's
guy.
crazy.
Yeah, and I was just wearing like a Wu-Tang sweatshirt, and he was like, "I
Yeah.
like your sweatshirt,"
Yeah.
and I was like, "Word!" Like, and then that was just like I didn't know anybody on the campus, so just like every time I saw him, I was like, "So, rap, right?" You
Right.
know, like just like I'm trying to make friends, and he was just like, you gotta meet this dude I know who raps, and we just kind of linked up. We did like a little bit of stuff together, not too much.
Yeah, like that one day we chilled with you and your homies and shit.
Yeah.
What was it, like 2 songs?
Yeah.
Like I did 2 verses and you guys were working on stuff. It was
Mhm.
chill. It was more like a chill session for me. Just
Yeah.
to kind of
Yeah.
meet different people.
But it was crazy because after that moment, you know, I would come into situations and I would come across people in Charleston and talk about, the state of hip hop and in Charleston in South Carolina, and people would I'd list off names, and you'd be one of those guys that I'd list off. I'd be like, one of those people is Abstract,
Oh, man.
And for a while, like people were like, who's that? Who's that guy?
Right.
But now and I swear to God, it's gotten to the point where, if I'm talking with somebody who frequents like local events and stuff, and I mention Abstract, they're like, yeah, I know who that is. Like, yeah.
Get out of here.
No, seriously. Because, I knew somebody who went to the fucking, the boat show. Like, you were, like, headlining that shit. Like, and people saw that. Like, it was all, it was on Instagram. Like, I was excited. One of my buddies is the bass player for Easy Honey.
Oh, okay.
And they were up there. Yeah. And so, like, a lot of people in my circle, like, were at that show, and they were like, and now they know who I've, been referencing as,
This
like,
whole time. Wow, that's a blessing, man. Lately, like, because, we don't do podcasts. We don't do music. We don't, like, be creative, like, to a certain extent to, like, not be seen. But it is, like, a little bit to be seen. Mm-hmm. And, like, as a single child, like, shit like that really, like, throws me for a loop.
Yeah.
It's inspiring, and it's also kind of, like, intimidating. So it's, like, I wonder, like, when the stakes get higher, like, how will I react?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to have to go past local at some point. So, thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Dude, I just thought it was, I just thought it was cool. Because, like, I think of myself as one of those cool guys. Because, like, whenever people, like, are talking about it, I'm just like, yeah, dude, I've been on that for a while. Like, I've known about him. Like, it's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. It's like, oh, yeah, you're just catching on that wave. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah,
great.
like, and I also think, like, you've got a situation, like, I think about this a lot, like, that with the amount of people moving into the Charleston area, it's only making the a greater economic situation in Charleston. More jobs are coming to Charleston, more people are coming to Charleston. It's a growing city.
It
and
is.
so with that happening, you've got an art scene that's been itching to just explode for the longest time, like on a national scale.
Right.
And then it seems like a lot of people, especially in our age range, that have wanted that, like, people in the past haven't been able to, like, break that glass ceiling because they just didn't have the, like, the amount of people in the area, the economic situation of an area to, like, accommodate, like, something on the scale at which they wanted it. And, like, now we're looking at, like, almost this, like, perfect storm,
Yeah.
like, where, like, artists are able to be acknowledged because there's people here now, you know. So I don't know.
And you were raised here, so you've probably seen more of a development than compared to my, like, 4 or 5 years here.
Oh yeah, and the majority of it has happened in the past 4 or 5 years. Like, it was crazy because me growing up, like, like the building I'm sitting in, like,
Right.
that we're sitting right now, wasn't even here like a year or two ago.
That's crazy.
And, like, this whole area past here is, like, brand new, and it's really cool because, like, whenever a city grows and accommodates more people, there's obviously going to be an effect on the art scene because,
For sure.
the more people that are there, the more people who can go see stuff and,
Right.
and support.
It's more bodies.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, dude.
Interesting.
Yeah, like, so what is it? Like why'd you stay in Charleston? Because I always thought you were gonna dip on out of here.
Like, after I graduated?
Yeah, like, I kind of thought.
Shit. So I am, 2.5 years into my 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I developed the 5-year plan to kind of, like, senior year of going to college at Charleston. And the whole thing is like, so when I came to Charleston, the reason I liked it outside of the like kind of Charlestonian vibe and like the small yet big feel of it is like it was an emerging city. I knew I wanted to get away from Georgetown just to see something new and live somewhere new and try like to be like the young man that I wanted to be like on my own through college, which, you know, graduating, you're not grown yet.
Yeah.
But and I developed a 5-year plan just to kind of like, cause like by that time I graduated, like shit was kind of with the music and then like with all the job opportunities, which you have to come to find out you need experience for. So I'm a lowly salesman as of right now, but like just getting experience and trying to squeeze like the lemon that is Charleston for all it has and move to another market within like 2.5 years from now. So I don't want to leave it just yet.
Yeah.
I actually, after like, so the only reason that would stop me from moving if something catastrophic like happened here that makes me feel like I want to stay. But like I was thinking about like, you know, Charlotte or Savannah or like Greenville or somewhere like not huge, kind of like Charleston.
Yeah.
So, and when I say like Charleston, just in the growing, developed aspect of it. And also places that aren't too far from Charleston, just so I don't have to completely like kind of not throw it away, but like I'd like to like build like a breadcrumb of like just places I've been that are all kind of like not too far away from each other, but I do progressively just move out and further away from. I guess this is like the epicenter for me because this is kind of where it's like taking off.
Okay.
Not taking off, but like shit's happening here that wouldn't happen in Georgetown, which is great, but like now it's kind of like you got to push the envelope. So yeah.
So is it kind of like, is it moving to like a Charlotte or Savannah or Greenville? Is that like to expand an audience?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and then for job opportunities, because I went to school for like business or marketing, so Charleston's marketing scene, digitally, I want to be like a digital marketer or like a brand builder.
Yeah.
And it's just not necessarily like, not really anything that's really caught my eye to be like, oh, I like need to stay in Charleston to do one of these two things.
Yeah. But it's like it's over in those areas and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Charlotte's real big on business. And
yeah, they're huge.
Yeah, so that's really attractive. And people say Savannah's like no disrespect, but like Savannah's like a downgrade from Charleston. It's just like a smaller Charleston, but they have open container laws.
That's what I was just about to say, dude.
Just fire.
Dude, it's insane.
But that would be a horrible reason to move to a city.
Well,
like this, like I'm setting myself up.
It should be a reason, you know. Like if you're not gonna go there and enjoy that a little bit, you know, like I'd be confused on, you know, like because that shit's crazy, dude. I went to Savannah one time and I was with these 3 girls, one of which it was her like 21st birthday, and we went. We were out at bars and stuff, and the bars, you know, they close at 2, but you just get like doubles and triples, and then you can just keep drinking in the street.
Yeah.
And so we're like drinking in the street. We end up eating at this like burger and fry place and hanging out there until like 4 a.m. And then we're like walking away, and these guys just have like a SUV, and it's like maybe 4 o'clock in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, and we just run across these guys with this SUV, and they've just got the back of the SUV open with a like a cooler, and like they're just drinking out of the cooler at 4:30 in the morning,
Jesus
like
Christ.
on the side of the street, and like they just throw us some beers, so we're just drinking beers with these guys at 4:30 in the morning on the side of the street, and one of the girls like starts blowing a dude, like just in the passenger seat, like with the door open and everything.
It's classy.
Yeah, like I mean, like he's sitting in the passenger seat, but she's just standing outside the SUV,
Just going hard.
Yeah,
Oh my
and like
God.
she comes up and she's like, yeah, they're gonna take us back to our hotel, and I was like, oh, like you were like working a deal there just then.
You're negotiating.
Yeah, I was like, you were Joe-gating or something. I don't know.
I think it's like a silent J. It's like
Yeah.
a soft J. Like
Negotiating.
yogging. Yeah. It's like yogging, you know.
Yeah. Dude, but
That's
yeah,
crazy.
That,
Yeah, no,
that
like-
place is insane.
Man, we did a show in Savannah. We did a show in like Little Bird. Like we were in there was a house party. It was like a house party. And then we were supposed to go to like Little Bird's gig because they were doing something at.
So what is Little Bird?
Little Bird's like a band.
Oh, okay.
Like a lot of them are from like up north, like Maryland. But like they all live down here and they just do music and they tour. Like the homie Oleg's like their drummer. Like I remember when he like started playing with Little Bird. But yeah, so like they take us to Savannah and it's like it was super like intimate, but like for some reason, like I don't know, I thought it was gonna be bigger. But anyway, like me and Slim are just like back in this backyard and we freestyle because it was like we ran out of material. But it was just like 3 hours and like an hour worth of material and just 2 hours of freestyling. And then it's just like we're just getting drunk simultaneously.
Yeah.
And then like this is morning or like this is like the afternoon going into like late dusk. We go to their show and then it's like, oh shit, you could drink on the streets. And then like everything just goes downhill from there. Like fucking some crazy shit happened. It was just like a lot of good people, but like
Yeah.
people doing sketchy shit in the parking lot. People like outside of drinking just heavily in the parking lot, just sketchy shit. And a lot of cigarettes were smoked that day.
Yeah, well, I mean, you don't have to stop. Like, I mean,
No.
we would walk around Savannah during the day, and I could, like, while we were walking down the street just looking at stores, like, I could run into a bar real quick and just get a beer and then just run back out, and I'm just walking with them with a beer. Like, I mean, it was insane.
It's surreal.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like I'm breaking the rules.
Right. And then it's just like, I remember being so drunk, just like thinking constantly. It was just like, they have to have like a whole dedicated squadron of people to like pick up these cups. Because as a drunk person, the more I drink, it's just like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. That's like the catchphrase of a drunk person. Like,
Yeah,
just,
like-
I don't give a fuck.
I don't give a fuck, bro. Fuck this cup and just throw it out. Yeah. Well, that was a good time. It was a great time.
Yeah, Savannah would be cool to move to. And it's got like a crazy, like that would be crazy to move to Savannah because, I mean, I could only imagine with a school like SCAD, you'd
Yeah.
have to come across some people with some, some artistic visions that
Oh, for
you probably
sure.
want to pair up with. Like, I mean, the business in, the hip hop scene kind of is very much established in Charlotte, but you could get weird in Savannah.
much
You
so.
could get real weird.
I mean, it's a college town. Like,
Yeah.
It resembles Charleston a lot.
Oh yeah, the cobblestone streets.
Yeah,
and,
This, the weird, skinny, like, stairways to places. So, yeah, it's definitely interesting. But most people tell me to, like, when I tell them those are my three options, they usually say, like, Charlotte.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, I'll definitely say like like I just said, like business wise, and they've kind of got a hip hop scene there, but like
Slightly, yeah.
slightly, and that's the thing. Like they've had a hip hop scene established in Charlotte for so long, but not much has come out of it, and I don't know why. But like whenever I think about that, I think like there's got to be something going wrong there, like that they've had a hip hop scene established so long and not much has like come out of it. But I can't really say anything because Charleston's had a hip hop scene established for a good while and like nothing's come out of here. But I also kind of blame that on the fact that it was just kind of like small town vibes for a long time. Like a lot of like the Geechee rappers that were coming up in the generation before us, like they just didn't have the economy to support like somebody locally.
Shoot, man. Well, I mean, like Georgetown, like is not too far from Charleston. Like I remember, cause I moved from Georgetown and came back, but like I do remember like making a big deal about like a few Charleston artists. There was definitely like a scene that Georgetown was aware of, like Pacino Dino and like Primetime and Lil Digger. It's just like I remember niggas talking about them just like in high regards, which made me kind of like when I came to Charleston to like visit CFC, it was just like I can't see that coming from here. Little did I know, like Charleston's pretty like not separated, but we can say separated.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was like, okay, I don't know, something musically drew me here.
Yeah, and I mean, I definitely like. I mean, just because they didn't reach like worldwide accolades doesn't mean they weren't good. Because I mean, I still remember starting to work my first kitchen job, and like I was really into hip hop, and I would tell some of the guys I was working with, I'd be like, like I'm really into hip hop, and they're like, who do you listen to from around here? And I was like, there's nobody from around here. And it was like blasphemy. They were like, sit down, like we're about to teach you some shit. And like they would be playing these these songs with no audio production on them. You could tell it's just some guy in his bathroom like rapping. But I mean, these guys were good. Like, and I mean, I was. They were just like, this is, Shice Red, this is City B, this is the, Carolina's Finest. Like, it's just like these guys who just like, 843. That's like what they were.
Dirty Dave was real big for a long time.
Dirty Dave was huge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't he locked up?
I have no clue.
Okay.
I never. And that's the thing, like I think, like I was just so, just like you were talking about with Charleston, like I think it was just so separated. Like it's just like these guys, they came out of like a downtown North Charleston scene,
right?
And it's just like I didn't know that Charleston, like I grew up like I was born in Hanahan and like stayed up in that like Goose Creek area, and then like when I was like in like early middle school, like moved over to Mount Pleasant, and then like I've just kind of been bouncing back and forth between Goose Creek and Mount Pleasant ever since then. Like I lived in West Ashley for a little bit, but like I've just never lived in North Charleston downtown. So like that's never been like a scene or like a Charleston that's been like my lifestyle.
Really?
So yeah, like
I wonder what that would be like, cause like downtown's ridiculous. Like you can always find shit to do.
Oh yeah. I mean, I can't imagine.
It's a gift and a curse. Being a college kid downtown, it's just like, why would you put a college down there?
It's dangerous, man. Like, shit, I even found myself, like, I've got some of, like, it's literally my crazy stories all start with, like, somebody going, like, let's go downtown right? It's like, I've just learned, like, now I'll make fun of my friends, like, when they're like, yeah, we're going to go downtown. I'm like, how old are you? Like, how old are you?
Yeah, that's kind of like the stigma.
Yeah.
From the locals.
Yeah, it's like, you need to grow up. That is dangerous. Like, you don't need to do that anymore.
Fuck that. I'll be downtown. Yeah. Fuck that. Shit. But like, I just moved out to West Ashley, man. Like, yeah, it's definitely a good change of pace. As much as I like to kind of like, have fun and go out and be upset because all the places food wise close at like 2 and just going out and shit. It's just like the West Ashley is probably what I needed post graduation, just to kind of wean me off of like, like life isn't college. Like life ain't.
Yeah.
Life is for the birds. Adulting's for the birds. But yeah, I needed West Ashley because it's not downtown. Downtown is ridiculous. But it's helped so much.
Shoot. Forgot to turn my phone off before we started this. There we go. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, it's crazy. But, I mean, you definitely have the opportunities downtown are just different from around here. And I mean, it's also just being at the center of things. Like me being on like one of the wings of Charleston, it's sits me in a place where, you know, if I do want to go to, you know, North Charleston or West Ashley or James Island, I'm having to cross the whole thing. Like, you center yourself in the middle of Charleston. That's where, you know, almost all of the musical events are happening. And like, it's just like, that's the place that actually goes down. And I wouldn't be surprised if at some point, like, I end up down there. It's just like right now, it's just like not a necessity. So I'm just trying to back up. Like, I had a friend who just recently moved down there, and it's not, I mean, this place he's got, it's not bad. Like, it's actually pretty good for the price, which is surprising.
So,
like,
yeah, hell yeah. But I mean, Charleston's developing just like Mount Pleasant. Like, I read like a article the other day saying like Charleston might have to, like, it's going to start like developing near Allendale, and I was like, God damn, like, Allendale's a minute away. It's like, I remember a few years ago where it was like nothing. Like, it was like McClennanville, Allendale, like nothing, and then it was like somehow Mount Pleasant. But like now, I went out there recently, and it's like there's a whole new development my friend was telling me about. It's just crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they're just gonna keep going further down 17,
right?
Until Myrtle Beach and Charleston
is
just
like
sandwich Georgetown.
Can you imagine?
I mean, I don't know.
It's a lot of woods. Like, that's kind of what kind of also makes me feel some type of way, because it's like you're gonna chop down a lot of trees.
Well, and I think ultimately they'll have to skip like a portion, because that's the Francis Marion Forest, so they wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you can't touch that.
Yeah, they can't touch that.
Historical.
Yeah. I knew some guys. Who went camping one time in the Francis Marion Forest, but they didn't know it was the Francis Marion Forest, and they thought it'd be cool to chop down a tree, and then
Jesus Christ.
they chopped down a tree, and these guys went around bragging about how they chopped down a tree because they thought it was just a manly thing to do. Oh, I got somebody at my door for something.
Oh my God, that's the feds. They know where I'm at. I'm gonna put this 8-ball away. It's like the world's fastest Amazon. Like, do they not even wait for you anymore?
No, they don't.
They don't? Like, this is disrespectful.
Dude, I'm surprised they even knocked. Like, usually they just leave the thing at the door. And I just, when I'm walking out, like, I find it.
That's crazy. Like,
dude, that's good. That's good. What were we talking about?
I don't know, bro.
Oh, yeah. I knew some guys who chopped down a tree, and then they were bragging about it. And it turned out one of their friends' dads was like a conservationalist, and he sat them all down and had this conversation and said that, you know, they should keep their mouths shut, because if they ever talked about that too much, they might go to jail, because you get fined for cutting down trees in the Francis Marion.
Jesus Christ. It's like the proverbial finger wave from the conservationalist dad.
Yeah. I never thought like, those kids would get in trouble for cutting down trees. Right. Like, what type of generation are we in?
Is that like a federal crime?
Yeah, I know. Gosh.
Like next to like rapists and drug dealers.
What'd you do? I cut down a tree.
Fucking tree, man. Fucking 1 to 2 years max, bro.
What did you do? I murdered and raped a woman.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
Nice,
cool.
Nice.
All right.
But I ain't did it, though.
Neither did I.
Neither did I.
That tree's lying.
It's all hearsay. It's all hearsay. Oh, man.
So what's going on? What's going on with music right now? Like, what's the overall hip hop scene look like right now from your perspective?
Shoot, my perspective on what I'm trying to do, I can't really speak on the hip hop scene, what they're trying to do. I can say everybody's trying to move forward, but what I'm looking at is like, I think it's quite. I feel like I'm an anomaly, because it's like you look online, I don't release a lot of music, but like somehow I've like garnered like this attention from the live shows. Like I know it's definitely correlated to like, having fun on stage with the homies, but my upcoming year and this past year is kind of like what we were talking about. Is just like let go, let God, like A good artist knows when to put down the paintbrush and working something to its perfection that makes sense for the time being and just releasing it and just kind of just going with the wind. So that's what I'm doing, kind of going on the single route. Honestly, like I've been like slowly just dripping singles like every once a month or once every other month. To kind of one to stall until like I need to get like some studio time, cause like lately, since we've moved from downtown to like West Ashley, like a lot of the homies kind of dispersed. So it was like that original when I met you, like that original kind of space at 48 America Street that like I made a lot of the music kind of like went away. So, but like I've still been making music and stuff, and I've been sitting on years worth of music. So, but I'm like kind of release singles, to one not be stagnant and two just to get it off my chest. And that's gonna lead to like maybe like a perspectives EP or something like that. Pretty much got written. Just need to book some studio time. Working with Real South Records to like, spread their awareness and kind of garnish them a little like hip hop notoriety.
What's Real Soft Records?
DJ Edwards and McKenzie reached out to me. They're like doing like local. They're like a local record label. They maneuver like throughout downtown and all over Charleston and way outside of Charleston. Just with like bands and things and booking. And originally the whole reason I was talking to them is because like I was getting to a point, like it was senior year, shows were coming in, but a lot of them were like kind of at the same places, which is fine. Like I'll do that, but like I just kind of wanted to branch out. Didn't have any connections as far as like outside of Charleston, so that's where they kind of came in and they were willing to offer like some help. So that's pretty much what they are to me. Like I'm not like signed to anybody or like, but it's just like a partnership, I'd say, of sorts. It's a lot of give and take. Yeah. So yeah, Real South Records. But yeah, and they released Mumble Rap. It did quite well. Like I was really proud of like all the work. It was a lot to get that song out there, but like hopefully like that was just like the foot in the ground moving forward type of thing. I have a few albums that I've been writing for them so they can like slap their logo on it and distribute it. But then like the thing about it is like I can also self-release. I can also still like book my own shows. So it's very mutually beneficial.
That's real freeing. Like a lot of record labels like wouldn't really give.
Yeah, well, I mean
freedom.
It's indie, so I mean like you're not about to tell me what to do with my like I definitely didn't sign any like no, I mean no disrespect, but it's just like you're not about to.
Yeah.
Not about to. That's not how it's gonna rock. Like that's not. You're not about to. I'm open to criticism, yes, but like. No, I just need to like book shows. So if you can help me do that, that would be fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like what my year looks like for hip hop is honestly taking a break from the shows a little bit.
Really?
Taking a break from the shows a little bit. Like still doing shows. I know just kind of the way the cards fell, it kind of worked into my 2019 plan, but like from like damn, I feel like we're in like April, but like from January to March, like late March, like I haven't booked a show. So that's been giving me time to write more, and I've been sick, so it's just like being like bedridden, kind of like it's always nice to refocus, and it's just like okay, so when I do get up and running, like this is how I'm moving, and then like when I got up and running, it was like I started booking shows for like April and May, and some of March and things like that. So 3 months in advance is more than enough time for me to perform and put together like a decent set list. I don't really practice with the band. I just find bands. So that's enough time for me to find bands or instrumentalists that are willing to like. My thing this year though, what I do want to start doing is saying no more.
What do you mean?
I feel like I've worked myself into a place of leverage where I can say no.
Oh, okay.
Instead of like I was so used to saying yes, and it was just like it was fine, and I'm still going to say yes, but like, if I'm not necessarily gonna like twist myself out of position from that I would like to be at just to say yes.
Mm-hmm. Like, do you feel like you were almost like maybe taking everything that was coming your way, whether it was beneficial to you or not?
Literally, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I don't even want to like kind of put that narrative alongside. Like it doesn't have to always be beneficial, especially like when you're trying to like pay dues. Like that's especially creatively, you got to pay dues. Like nobody.
But that's still something that's beneficial to you, is paying dues.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But that kind of in my mind falls on the like side of like, if you do something nice, just to hear a thank you, is that really being nice? Like, yeah, it's like nice to be recognized from paying dues, but it's just like, kind of like, like adulting on your own, and you miss a few payments on your car note and your like rent. It's just like, you still got to deal with it.
Yeah.
Eventually. So I mean, paying dues is just kind of the name of the game. But yeah, I do want to say no to some things.
Well, I'm glad you didn't say no to this.
Right.
I'm glad this wasn't the start of that.
It's funny because I've been reading a book called Year of Yes by Shonda Rhimes. Mm-hmm. And it's like pretty much like Jim Carrey. You remember that movie, Yes Man?
Yeah.
It's like this, the lady, Shonda Rhimes, like she's written like Grey's Anatomy and like How to Get Away with Murder and like all this other cool stuff. And it's like,
yeah,
she said,
I took a master class with her on writing screenplays.
Shonda Rhimes.
Yeah.
Huh? What?
Yeah, like she teaches like she does like it's this website called Masterclass.
Yeah.
And like she teaches like like it's like a 3-4 hour class on writing screenplays and just like writing pilots, getting your pilot out there and stuff. And I just thought it would be really cool. And so like I've got the yearly subscription to like all the classes. So I just I did that class because I just thought it'd be really cool. She's a genius, dude. Like it's crazy, like because she lets you read some of the like pilots that she's written, and like so you can read those, and then like you listen to her talk about them, and it's just like seeing things from all these different angles, and it's like what the fuck, like it's really cool. But sorry, I didn't mean
no. That's dope. That's dope. I've kind of been on a Shonda like since the book. I've just kind of I don't really watch Scandal or anything like that.
Yeah.
But like. Just kind of having way more respect for like writers and more so her because she's like a black lady, with children, and she runs a whole production team, and it's just like lit. Like I respect it, and like you need to say yes to more things, but I'm also saying no. So
yeah. So what her premise was like saying she said yes to like everything or something.
So for instance, it's like saying yes to the right things and saying no to the right things. So. There was a chapter about like how she just didn't like her weight, but she did like food and she did like kind of lounging around when she wasn't working, like kind of not doing anything and just eating like. But she said like it was something like I can either say yes to like eating and not really liking how I look, which is fine, or I can just say like yes to eating but doing something about it. It's just like kind of rephrasing. It's like it's all right to eat, but I mean, it's like if you don't like something, you can say no to that portion, say yes to another thing. So,
okay,
you're right. I don't know if that made sense, but it
no,
made sense
yeah,
to
I mean,
me.
it's almost like if she were to be saying yes to everything, those things wouldn't line up because she's wanting to say yes to, healthy lifestyle. Say yes to lounging around, say yes to eating. But those things don't work together.
No.
You can't say yes to all that. That's
Right.
almost like your record label being like, we're going to book a show for you on Friday at 5 o'clock. And you're like, yes. And then somebody comes to you and says, hey, I've got another show for you at Friday at 5 o'clock. And you go, yes. You can't do it.
Or like in my past, like I'm notorious for like double booking, like having a show. And I've seen musicians do it. I've done it successfully sometimes.
Yeah.
But like, oh, yeah, this one starts at 5. Okay, bet. All right, 30, 45-minute set. Oh, yeah, we got another guy's like, yeah, we got one at 6:30. It's like a 40-minute drive from the place that I'm going to have to be at, so it's like going to be tough. So, but, like, I still say yes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. But,
That's intense, dude.
The fact that I can even think about saying no is like a nice thought,
Yeah.
I think that's a luxury in itself.
Uh-huh.
Tell you the truth, ever since this like whole Charleston City paper thing, it's just been real weird because it's just like eyes are like you. We all think eyes are on us, but like eyes are on you now. It's like Jesus Christ. People care, but it's also like fuck. People care.
Yeah.
Shit. Damn.
So you were in the Charleston City paper?
Yeah, like last 2018, they voted me best hip hop artist or hip hop act of the year.
What?
I beat out like Benny Starr and like Matt Monday and Shaniqua McCann, like crazy shit. Like,
Yeah.
I was just happy to be nominated at first, and I was
Yeah.
like, yeah, man, like trying to like reach out to people, like, hey, man, like,
Yeah.
don't know how I got nominated for, but like, yo, like throw a ballot my way,
Yeah.
and a nigga won, so it was just
Yeah.
like, whoa, just like, just,
Yeah.
that was just like, man, shout out to Kelly Ray. You know Kelly? Kelly's awesome. And going back to the whole like infrastructure of hip hop and it's changed and things like that. I think though we do have a long way to go as like a area. Like it's publications like it's publications that give people like Kelly Ray Smith the like leeway to do what she does musically. Like she's been a hip hop advocate ever since I've ever saw her name on my social media feed, and like all the nice people at Post and Courier. Like there is a desire outside of hip hop artists and creatives to like kind of put hip hop up there. Mm-hmm. So that's really nice, but it's not enough. I don't think anybody's satisfied. We want more.
Yeah. Of course.
No more than any other genre would get exposure.
Yeah.
I think that's only fair.
Yeah, yeah. So is that like how do you feel that in reality? Like when something like that happens, like you win an award like that and then you said, you thought all eyes were on you, but all eyes are now, actually on you. Like what is the like how do you feel that? Like
Right.
how do you sense that exactly?
Like hearing like what you said, like, yeah, like I was telling people about you like years before, like people were like, okay, like that's dope.
Yeah.
And then it's like people coming up to me and it was like, oh, like that guy you were talking about. It's like that happens not a lot, but it's like it's happening more.
Yeah.
And it's like
Ever since that moment,
you might not even remember a song, but you remember the name. Like that's weird. Or you remember like that black kid that was rapping.
Yeah.
So it's a blessing. Like it kind of gives me like much respect to the people that's in the mainstream spotlight. Just like you have to do like not only do you have to be comfortable with yourself as like a creative, but you also have to there's people listening. There's people listening to you. Fuck, like I don't even know, but like, it's nice. I'm not complaining. Like I don't want it to sound like complaining. It was like it's daunting. Can't lie, cause like when you know that there's people watching, it makes you second guess shit you probably wouldn't have second guessed when you were just like in the shadows like Batman,
Yeah.
But I mean, you kind of got to get over it, and that's the whole letting go and let God. Like whatever you've been doing was working this far, even the bad shows. Like there's bad shows. Like people have bad shows, so it's like those are supposed to happen. Just like you're supposed to win.
So why take the move of like, cause like you just were talking about how like you're like taking more of like a break from shows and stuff. Like
Right.
what like I don't know, like maybe I'm just like wouldn't you want to like
Do more shows?
yeah, like just because like now like you've got people kind of like there's like almost like this
Right.
little bit of a buzz like when you want to like capitalize on that situation, or is it you want to capitalize on that situation through like a recorded project?
Right. So, like, my thing is, like, a lot of these, since I don't often practice, which Slim will probably be like, oh, yeah, like, the nigga never practices. But, like, since I don't practice and I, like, really kind of, me and the band, me and the players that I play with kind of feel it out, and I, like, totally am fine with that. And if need be, we will rehearse, like, if, like, it's a huge show. But, like, I think the songs I've been doing for like and like it makes sense that like stuff is kind of starting to happen because like I've been doing shows like for like some years now, which is cool to say, but like a lot of it's just like recycle material, and then I from time to time I slide in like verses or songs that I haven't tried out, just like into a set just to see what it feels like, and it's just like the whole the material that like powers this steamship that is like me being able to do this is content. They're like verses. It's like different shit. So I need to restock on wood to burn for the train so I can burn the coal kind of thing. I don't even know if that's how trains work.
I don't know.
I feel like that was close.
Who knows how
But yeah, I
trains
need
work.
more fuel. So
Yeah.
That's why I say I kind of want to decrease shows, increase more recorded material. And it's still like a performance in itself. Like my name's still out there. It's just like, just kind of diversifying my portfolio, and also like release. Cause like a lot of the songs that people like that I've been performing, it's crazy because like I haven't recorded them.
Yeah.
And like,
Are people like asking where to find that stuff?
exactly. Like,
And you just don't have an avenue to give it to them?
yeah, like that's why the slow drip of music's been kind of working for me. But like, exactly. Like,
Yeah.
I have a song called like How Many. I love that song. I released it through 1770 Records through the school, but like never like released it. Like, yeah. So it was just like one of those things.
So are they the same record company that came out with that set up like the boat show?
Yeah.
And they did that vinyl press.
Yeah.
And so are you on the vinyl press?
I am.
You are.
The
Okay.
Local Suspects.
Yeah. So you're on there. What song's on there from you?
How Many /
That's that one. Okay.
Yes. I actually like meshed it together because we did like the homie Colemanot got us to do a Charlestown Sounds, which is like kind of his like interview podcast, and he was like a college student, like just meeting all the local artists, and just kind of like having the school behind him, like kind of like helping him get the content out. And we did like a freestyle, and we had the audio, I had the audio, and I just kind of mashed it up together and just sent it to 1770 just because the
And so
local
who
suspects
produced that
trust
record?
him. Oleg. Well, the first part's literally like a old school like acapella beatbox.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's
and
pretty cool.
then it kind of spins into like a produced How Many. And Oleg made the beat.
Okay.
Like there's video of it on YouTube and shit. It's pretty good
Okay.
video.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, shout out to Colemanot. And
What's that YouTube channel?
Charlestown Sounds. Like if you type in abstract Charlestown Sounds, it'll pop up. Also, like he did one with Noah Jones, and also like Charlestown, like TOWN. Like,
Yeah, I was about to ask if that was
Yeah.
okay. No E at the end of that?
No.
Okay, just
no,
Charlestown.
Yeah.
Charlestown Sounds. Is that one word?
2 words.
2 words.
Two
All right,
words.
Yeah.
And I did release like I put like out the mix on Reverb Nation. Like I don't know if people, but like I just did it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Reverb
1770's
Nation. I
been
haven't
super
heard that name in a
supportive.
while. I haven't heard that name in a while. Reverb
Yeah.
Nation. They're a good way to connect with like artists in the area, though.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like I don't know, metrics I like social media marketing, so any metrics kind of is helpful. And also just to be nosy and see how you stack up against other people.
Yeah.
Which numbers don't mean shit.
Yeah.
When it comes to that regard, but yeah. And like, do you know who Gary Vee is? You don't know who Gary Vaynerchuk is? You might need to listen to Gary Vaynerchuk, man. Gary Vee with 2 E's. Fuck with Gary Vee, man.
Is he around here?
No. He's on like Saks Fifth Avenue. He's like a social media like / motivational speaker / like entrepreneur / like you've
Okay.
probably seen him scrolling through your feed. His advice kind of pertains
Is
to
he the dude? He's got like short, dark hair. Looks like an Italian dude.
Yeah.
And he's always got his phone out, and he's like, content.
Yeah.
Content. People aren't releasing enough content these days.
yeah, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I think
Something
I
like
think I
that.
know who you're talking about.
Right. So going back to Reverb, it's just like one of the things he preaches is just like, platform not utilized is revenue or eyes unnoticed. So even though Reverb might not be popping or SoundCloud might not be popping, it's just like I'll still put it on there. Just like when you do like distribution through like a online distributor, like you want your music in as many stores as possible. You don't want to just stick with Spotify, Apple Music. There's stores being added every day, literally, online music marketplaces.
Yeah.
So why say no to that? So
Yeah, and I think that's what is so cool about like these newer apps that are coming out where you can put your music, you pay like maybe a monthly fee and they give you a certain amount of songs that you can upload onto their site, and then their site distributes it to Spotify, SoundCloud,
Exactly.
and all that stuff. Because right now, like if I want to release a song, like I'm gonna put it on Bandcamp,
Right.
and like the only reason I put it on Bandcamp is because it's free, and
Right.
like I'm not gonna sit like I don't like monitoring 7 different applications
Right.
and uploading it to all those applications and having a consistency across them is very difficult. Now if I were to like release something and put it, like release something I was really wanting to promote for a super long time, I would definitely like put it on all of those avenues. But I mean, do you ever get like weird looks when you say you release stuff on SoundCloud? Like I feel like SoundCloud has gained itself such a weird reputation over the past year.
I mean, do I get weird looks? No. Not that I would notice it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like I get it. Like SoundCloud rapper, like
Yeah.
But like, I mean, outside of what other people think, I'm just like looking back. Like I'm from Georgetown. Like, it was only like a dream, like literally a dream, just to not even get paid for a show, but just to rap in front of people. And like now I get to have the goal to ask for money.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and I did that without SoundCloud. Well, I did it with SoundCloud, but like, truth be told, like I don't know. It's just like, what do you mean? Like, I don't care what you think.
No, I'm just saying, like, do you think like
It definitely has a back.
SoundCloud has changed? Like, I mean, I guess ultimately what I'm asking is like, has your perspective on SoundCloud changed over
Nah.
the past year? Not really.
Nah, cause like SoundCloud was a free platform that I could like have my music as like it's a link it's a link nonetheless. And there's not subscribers, but there's like users of that site. So I mean, might not be for everybody. Like, okay, yeah, fine, you have like Spotify Premium, but like, okay, what about the people who don't have Spotify?
Yeah.
Like, it's just like in the chronological order in my mind when like releasing music is like now it's just like put it out for free, and then like put it on streaming sites. Like what? I don't know. It's just like I'm not trying to monetize off the music, the files. Like I'm not yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like music. It's where it's at is like, and then like think about it. It's just like if it has 1,000 plays on YouTube and 1,000 plays on like Apple Music and 1,000 plays on Spotify, and not paid for, like all organic. Like, are people really gonna look away from that? Like, are they gonna be like, oh, but these 1,000 views on Apple Music more significant than SoundCloud?
Yeah.
If it's a good song.
Yeah. I guess that is true.
It's like, what's heavier, a ton of bricks or a ton of feathers?
Yeah.
They're both a ton. So, something I
That
did.
is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, nah, I don't feel bad.
No, I mean, I just like whenever I get in a conversation about like streaming sites, like it just seems that I've noticed in talking with like artists who are releasing like free music and such, some of them have started to like, and I mean, I've just noticed like a different type of utility in Bandcamp where you can kind of have that, here's my music for free, but if you want to give me money, you can, type thing where it's like, it's almost like I have a tip jar on the website. And I like that because every once in a while, somebody gives you a tip just for your money. So I think that's cool. And also I think the, sometimes like the streaming service, is almost becomes a part of your brand,
Right.
Like, so like, I think there's something to being able to say like, here's my music on Spotify Premium, you know, oh, you don't have Spotify Premium? Cool. Yeah, I've got other avenues.
Right.
But like if you that first step forward's like
Stream.
professional,
Right.
very, very professional. And the people who do have Spotify Premium are like, oh, okay, like this is super professional, you know? And I mean, maybe it's weird to, you know, appeal to the fancy folk or whatever who have the fucking Spotify Premium. Like, I know I don't. Like, I'm all on YouTube, so, but,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just a discussion, something I'm just trying to, like, figure out because, like, streaming is always so weird, and I feel like everybody who streams music takes somewhat of a different avenue to do it.
Yeah. I'm just playing at what feels right.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it doesn't. I don't want to like put up any obstacles to my music. That's like counterproductive to me at this point.
Yeah.
You know.
You're not we're not all Kanye who can put their music up on Tidal
Only.
and,
Right.
only.
And then still have it do numbers.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
And then change the album midway through the
bro,
stream.
that whole idea, but like that
That
whole
was genius.
it's a living at this point. Like he can come back years later and be like, those snares were never sitting right with me.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna like.
And he just changes it. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I was talking to somebody. One of those songs came on from Life of Pablo, and I was talking to somebody, and they're not like a huge Kanye fan or whatever. And I was like, I remember listening to this song the first time, like when it came out, like it's so different now. And they're like, yeah, music sounds different over time. And I was like, no, like
It is.
literally the song was like a different song. And they were like, what are you talking about? And I was like, it didn't have like all these synthesizers and stuff in it. It didn't have this feature or this other
Yeah, like where this
verse.
feature come from?
Yeah, like it's just like it's not the same song. And they're like what? Like I was like, yeah, like he released it and then kept
Change.
working on it.
Yeah,
Like
that's beautiful.
I
That's
mean,
awesome.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It's like a perfectionist. Like that's just a perfectionist way of just being like, yeah, I'm not done yet, but like I got like deadlines to meet.
yeah. Gosh.
Nah.
What do you think about the whole Yandi debacle that's going on?
I don't know what Yandi debacle you're talking about, but I just know like, as a black person, man, like Kanye's interesting. Kanye's so interesting. Like, I kind of, it's like I put him up there as like one of those top tier creative guys, like you know.
Yeah.
Outside of music even, which is a beautiful thing to say. It's like you're not in a box at all, and you fought for a lot of things, but then it's like, are you that great at branding? You just know how to capture people's attention at this point. And then it's like, what's the... Yeah, but I think one, is in reference to Kanye, is just like you can't speak of his social actions, which is kind of crazy. You can't speak about his like his life and his music in the same breath and expect to sound like cohesive in a thought. And also it's just like Kanye's real good at being seen and forcing opinions. Like you know, you don't have to like it,
Yeah.
but other guy might love it, but you both know what you're talking about when you're talking to each other, and you have an opinion either way. He's great at that. But what's happening with Yandi?
Well, so apparently, like, Def Jam, for the longest time has had Kanye in like a certain deal, and now Kanye's wanting like a new deal, and there's probably more news about this. It's been a week or so since I've read about it, but
So this is recent.
yeah, well, so basically, he wants a new deal to be renegotiated before the Yandi album drops. The Yandi album should have already dropped, but they don't want to renegotiate. Now he's telling them, if we're not going to renegotiate, I want to leave. Like he's going to leave Def Jam.
Okay.
And they're like, okay, you can do that, but Yandi is ours, and all your previous music is ours. And he goes, nope, I want that too. He's like, if I'm gonna leave, I want the master tracks to all my music. And so it's like,
He's trying to pull like a Jay-Z move and own his masters.
Yeah.
From Def Jam.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Or else he will release Yandi if they, like, if he gets it.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't really have anything to wager against them. Like you're saying like or else, but there's no really or else. Like it's like what is he gonna do if they just say nope?
No.
Like legally these are ours. Like
Right.
like I don't know. Like it's just like one of those things where it's just like Kanye's kind of I don't know, pushing the envelope a little bit, where it's just like I don't know if you have the power. Like I don't know if he has an or else. Like
I mean, shit, you can buy your masters back. But
does he have like he just like what was it like 2 years ago where he said like he was
broke?
bankrupt?
I mean, I
don't know.
I don't know. Like I said, you can't talk about it. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
What is being broke when you're like Kanye? Like I don't know.
You're married to Kim Kardashian.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty sure she's got a little bit of money.
But
Something.
yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. So we're just waiting on a court case so we
I think
can get
he's
Yandi.
leveraging the numbers like Yandi might be projected to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that would have to be an ass of like. Yeah, what is the or else? That's I'll
Yeah.
have to read up on that.
But I mean, dude, this would be the the fifth album in the past in a year's span. Like so, I mean, I don't know. Like I don't know how much sales you can do like releasing so much
Right.
music like in a row, but I guess this might even be just like holding off the album so that it does like I don't know, some anticipation around it. It's almost like when he was starting the 4 album cycle and he
Right.
started with Pusha T's, and when he was starting with Pusha T's, Pusha T started that beef with Drake, and then it brought all the attention on that 4 album cycle, and then he ran it, and like he had the attention around Drake dissing Kid Cudi for his depression. The Ye album was scrapped. It was originally supposed to be like, or it had all the politics around it, and he
Right.
like got all that political draw, and then unfortunately he did not really anything for Nas's album. But
That is unfortunate, right?
there was no sale, like, and I've talked about that with people before. It's like he did all. It seemed like there were all these sales tactics for all his other albums, like the politics.
I think he
for
was
Ye.
expecting the name to kind of like hold weight,
Yeah.
which it does.
Yeah.
But
It's still a really cool album. Like I'm still listening to it. Like
are you?
yeah, like Adam and Eve, Cop Shot the Kid, like that.
Yeah.
That song, Cop Shot the Kid. Like I've never heard a song like that before. It's literally Slick Rick's vocals just being repeated, and then it comes into the chorus, and they harmonize a sub bass with the vocals being split into 3, and the vocals turn into like chords. Like, dude, it's like I've never heard anything like that before. Like, it's an insane song. Like, nonetheless, like Nas is just like going in over, and it's Slick Rick vocals.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
so
very nostalgic feeling that
yeah,
song is.
yeah,
I think I kind of like people's attention spans, man, like are super short. Like the whole 7 song album release thing, I think it did what it was supposed to do.
Yeah.
I don't think we were supposed to kind of badger over like this is the greatest thing ever.
yeah.
I think people wanted it to be like that, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I know what Kanye thinks. But I don't think it was supposed to be like a longevity thing. It was supposed to be a moment for music. Nobody's ever done that.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Do you think Drake went the wrong way doing like a double album release instead of doing what Kanye did, or
Scorpion.
yeah, Scorpion was double album.
Honestly, the way Drake releases music has been very like interesting to me.
How so?
Cause like with a lot like the joint album with Future, like literally, and just like I know it probably is like label politics. We have to get certain amount of albums from you.
Yeah, album rotations. Like you
Right.
sign a deal for a
Right.
certain amount of rotations.
But like, I think I mean, for a second there, like Drake kind of made it cool to not promote an album.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like then.
What was the first one with that? That was, If You're Reading This Is Too Late.
Yeah, no. It's the one with Future, the one with the diamonds, and it was just like
What a
this
Time
shit-
to Be Alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it was like that was an out like, and it was like debated around. It was like, is this an album? Is this a mixtape? I think it's an album.
Yeah.
He was selling it,
Mm-hmm.
He dropped it like a mixtape.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that was an album. If you're reading this, It's Too Late was an album. But like now, I think the music that Scorpion was his last one, right? Or
Mm-hmm. Scorpion was the one with.
no. Like when I say last one, I mean his last like. I think it was the one before that, like the last album that got him out of his deal or something with Cash Money or something.
Views.
Views
Views
right.
was the last album.
And then
on
Views
that.
was like really weird because it was like real mixed opinions. But I think you look at Views, I think he was giving people like what they felt like they wanted. Or was it more Life After Views?
Well, that came after it, but I think Views was the last one on the Young Money album cycle thing.
Got you.
I think so, because he was planning on releasing, like, so when all of it went down, that was right before, if you're reading this, It's Too Late, and apparently, what I've heard, I might be wrong about this, but apparently, if you're reading this, It's Too Late was supposed to be a mixtape, but he just went ahead and released it as an album, so it would count as one of his album cycles. So then when he came to Views, he could release Views, and that would be his last album, and then he could just move on.
And then everything, and then like the whole double album, like from an artist like that's like being released from like this contractual obligation, it makes sense. Like this is all the music that I've been told no to.
Yeah.
Like throughout this whole journey, it's just like I'm gonna put out a fucking double album. I don't have to worry about recouping anything. Like I've all got these albums that'll garnish like the attention for this new album.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. Like you watch like that first concert after the album drops. It's been like 3 days since the album drops, and like the entire audience
Like
knows the lyrics.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I don't.
This rolling not a stopwatch. This never
Yeah,
stop.
right.
And like everybody in the audience is just screaming. It's like, dude, like how many times have you heard this song already?
Probably like a million times,
Yeah,
bro. I love that song.
I mean, like now I know the lyrics, but like I probably didn't listen to the album for like a month because like Drake's always weird to me. I'm never gonna be that guy that when like a Drake album drops, I'm like
have you
I'm like,
heard-
yo, you heard this Drake
This
album?
Drizzy
Like,
Drake.
It's like I'll hear it eventually, but like I'm gonna take my time. Like I'm not gonna.
I'll listen. I'll definitely be like, I'll listen to him. I don't mind Drake.
Yeah.
The whole like writing incident that happened, like, it made me feel some type of way. But then like he kind of like made me look at a hip hop artist in a different light. Like I know you can be a pop star and be a hip hop artist like Wayne was, but like literally he's like I'm making crafting songs. Like 40 was like, you know, like it's not about necessarily like who did what. It's just like collectively making a song together with involving different people, which was respectable and a very nonchalant way to dodge like that whole thing at the same time.
Yeah.
But I get it. Like, you know, as much as it hurt me, like Michael Jackson didn't write a lot of his music.
Yeah.
But like, so at that point you're a performer. You're not an artist, which he can still write. So it's just like you just can't be at a million places at one time. Like you're busy, man. Like the fact that you can do that and this and that and this, it's commendable. You just can't be top 5. I think someone said that. You just can't be top 5.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge, and like I'm a hip hop head, so it's just like, yeah, like if we're talking about best like performer, like he's an artist all the same, but like rapper, like can't man.
Well, and that's the thing, like that's my biggest problem is Drake is with Drake fans, because like I've got a cousin like, and he wants to put Drake as like number 1. No one's ever done what he's done, and I'm like,
What?
dude, like I'm like, yeah, sure, no one has ever been, no hip hop artist has ever probably had the accolades that Drake has.
Right.
Like sold the amount of units, like been as world renowned. But the thing is, it's just like, dude, like he's like he's masked. Like a lot of the stuff that's done is like by like these huge writing camps. Like there's like hundreds of people behind this one album. And like, dude, cool. Like it makes for some fun songs. Like I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like if I'm putting on like a a party mix. Like some
Right.
Drake songs aren't going to be on there because they're fun songs.
They're
And like
great.
I know some of the lyrics to them that get you hype. You know, if you're doing a workout and you want to, you know, get in a zone, like, you know, you can put some Drake songs on and they'll put you in that zone. But
could.
like, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and like argue like with comparing lyrics of like Drake with somebody like Big Crit or Black Thought or something. Like
Jesus,
he's just,
no, don't you
yeah,
dare.
Yeah, he's not even in the same category.
Not yet.
But like people try and put him in like a number one spot, and it's just
well,
like, dude, there's so many people in
It's
front
just
of him.
my thing is the classification, but I will say like my whole thing because it's interesting because as a writer, and I would give Drake that he is a writer. He's written for other people. He can write.
It's true.
It's been proven.
Yeah.
Like all of his early shit, I believe were like he didn't have the access to everybody he has access to. So that was him. And then there's like as a writer, it seems like I don't know if I had to guess, I could kind of like feel like the songs where he wrote that. Like I don't know why I think it, but like a lot of those 9 a.m. in Toronto's or the 3 a.m. in Dallas's and like kind of those like there's a certain way he raps there like that's reflective of like, you know, back when he was like a freshman with Young Money and shit. I hear it. I feel like he's still writing some of his music, but it's just gotten to the like we don't think twice when Beyonce has a whole writing camp. Like she has whole writing workshops.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's just putting himself in a very interesting lane, but like at the same time he's willing to sacrifice the possibility of garnishing the title of like best rapper ever for like best artist. Best like yeah. And he doesn't run away from it. It's just like I just don't classify him as
Yeah.
like you don't say like Dr. Dre is the best rapper.
Well, and that's somebody you should always bring up in a conversation like this
Right.
because I mean,
But Dr. Dre has respect.
Dr. Dre has respect, but like I'm not even bringing him up. in
Niggas
the
ain't saying like Puffy the best rapper. But like Puffy has respect. DJ Khaled.
Yeah.
You know?
Is DJ Khaled rapped on?
He has rap.
What?
Like once or twice. Look it up. Yeah, I think Rick Ross wrote a rap for him one time. I could be wrong, but like
I mean, I don't know.
think it
I'll
was
have to
a
look that
debate.
up later.
I think it was a song with Rick Ross and it's crazy.
That's actually kind of funny to think about, like Rick Ross like writing a verse for DJ Khaled.
Right. But
you can hear like when Dr. Dre is on,
bro, whoever's Dr. Dre's on a song with, usually like they'll sound
he sounds exactly like him.
like yeah, it's cadence and shit. Like, but Dr. Dre's voice is just like some people just are like his voice. He just should be rapping. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even mad.
Like why? I can't believe I'm forgetting this song, but
The Recipe.
Yeah, the recipe. Yeah, smoking weed.
Yeah, that sounded like Kendrick.
Oh, he's dead on Kendrick
Yeah.
the entire time, and then he's on fucking the song with
Eminem.
for Forget About Me or whatever.
Yeah, like that verse was hard as hell.
But he's Eminem.
Yeah,
he's
like-
Eminem.
Right, he's definitely like Dr. Dre Eminem.
Like Dr. Dre's like the Kirby of hip hop. Like he just
Just
absorbs whoever he's on a track with, and then he's just that person for the track.
Dr.
Which
Dre,
is,
if you're listening to this, I didn't say you suck up anybody.
hey, I'm not like that, but like you know, like there's a certain there's a certain skill to be able to just adopt somebody's style and then just execute it on such a high level.
For sure.
Like, I don't know.
And you know, with this whole like 2019 like women's progression and LGBTQ, I feel like when you're going like in Black Lives Matter, it's just like, hey man, like you can do hip hop and not write your shit. And I think that's something that hip hop fans are having, like not true hip hop fans. I don't want to classify it as that, but you know, like the niggas who like lyrics and like creative stuff is having a problem with.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean,
You think it's just like growing pains, like watching something change?
Yeah. I mean, like I have a whole song called Mumble Rap, but like, so it's just like, you know, the only constant is constant change. Like, I have a song that I've like already recorded, never released. I have released it actually, but I've been dropping singles, so nothing's cohesive. But like, I have a song called Mumble Rap, and that's like a lot of like a good rotation, good feedback. And I dropped another song like on a very, I'm not gonna say the name of the website just to see what it would do, and it's like me mumble rapping. So it's just like you gotta just embrace change, you know. It's kind of ironic, if anything. So Yeah. Like, get with it or get lost. Like, you can fight all day. You don't have to forget shit. Like, you don't have to forget the lineage. But hip hop, hip hop's like the most listened to genre, like globally, streaming wise.
Yeah.
That says a lot. So you have a lot of people coming into this culture, and people naturally form opinions, and people naturally like try to do what they see, and then put their own twist on it. But the twists seem to all end up to the same road as far as like where a lot of the new guys are coming from. Did that make sense?
Explain that one more time.
Like when I say new guys, like not even try to put them in a box, but like all those like the ones that we as society call like mumble rappers, like you know, they were all putting their own spin on certain like how they got out there, and but for some reason society kind of like just called it one thing because it was different from like we want lyrics, we want concepts, and da 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 da. We want you to rap better. You're a trash rapper, but your shit is hype type of thing. Which is like all those guys came from very different backgrounds, fell in love with this thing called hip hop, wanted to put their own spin on it, but that all those roads ended up to them being called mumble rappers and being put in this box, which I don't think they give a fuck.
Yeah.
Because they're winning monetarily and like lifestyle wise, so that's great. But yeah, it's just like I say that to say like shit's changing, people are doing shit differently. It's different than what it has usually been. But I mean, what was people's opinions on hip hop when it was new? Like it was trash. So like before hip hop was a thing and disco was probably still bumping in like the 70s. Like people probably thought it was trash. So I don't know. Get in where you fit in. And then you know what? This is like just a tangent. I'm just talking in tangents, quite honestly.
Go ahead.
But like I think it's like what was it? The 2016 Double XL Freshman, was that the? I think that was the year where like mumble rap like became a term. The one with 21 Savage and Kodak and Lil Pump. No, Lil Pump wasn't there, but like Denzel Curry and.
Which is crazy to think of like Denzel Curry and 21 Savage as like mumble rappers
Right.
now. Like now. Like
Right.
earlier, like it was like, yeah, throw them in that category. But like now, like they're so outside of that.
I think
like,
we put them in a box way too early in their career. And it's
Yeah.
like naturally like for people to kind of go against the grain if you continuously call me this one thing. So, and it's like, that's what I was going to say. Like Kodak came out with a great album.
Yeah.
Talking about great shit. So did 21 Savage.
yeah.
I think that might have led to his deportation or his alleged like run-in with the
What, just
ICE
him
agents
with a great album?
with something to say. Like,
Oh, okay,
it was
yeah.
just like society was like, nah. Like,
Yeah, stop talking, go back to Britain. Like,
yeah, like shoot somebody.
Yeah.
Which he still, you know, whatever. But yeah, can't put people in a box forever. Same thing with hip hop. You can't put like, you don't have to be lyrical. Lyrical miracle individual. You don't have to do all that no more. Which you know, make your
Yeah.
opinions about it. But will that change anything? If the masses are still listening to it, and there's corporations willing to invest money into, is it going to change? I don't know.
Yeah.
I think it's a rotation. Cause I think at the same time that you had like Ice Cube, but yeah, Ice Cube, but like the same time you had Tupac, you had Digital Underground and like the Humpty Dance. Or like, you know, like the same time you had, which is crazy, the same time you had NWA, you also had Public Enemy. Like, I don't know, in my mind before like I knew that, I've always, two different types of music, I always felt like they were like years apart, but like they were on the same Billboard charts at certain points of their career. So you're always gonna have that fun aspect to hip hop, and then you're always gonna have like the lyrical miracle individual. And this, like,
But it
type
even
of rap.
seems like within those groups they had that like that split. Like you hear in Public Enemy, they always talk about how like Flava Flav, like they at Public Enemy as a whole was like just speaking towards, you know, all this crazy stuff that was happening, but like Flava Flav was that like break from it. Like he was that crazy dude
Right.
who was just like, yeah, I know all that stuff's happening, but like, wow, look at me, you
Yeah,
know, like,
right.
you know,
Right.
And then like in NWA, like, I mean, you know, they're talking about some serious stuff, but you know, they've got some just like, you know, fuck around songs too.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But my whole point is their balance. Like,
Yeah.
you can never have like too much of one thing from with it, especially now. People need like, J. Cole is like the biggest I feel like J. Cole's ever been in his career.
Dude, he's on every fucking track right now.
Yeah,
It feels like that for me. Like I haven't
Really?
heard- Dude, like
I feel like he's definitely gonna be on way more tracks. Like you gotta like, Lil Wayne was on a lot of tracks. Like that was a lot. I
Yeah.
don't think he's doing with Lil Wayne. Not saying like
but I mean like who else can we say that's been on
a lot of tracks as of recently.
as of recently?
J. Cole. J.
Yeah.
Cole.
Like I mean he's on
J. Cole for sure.
Anderson .Paak, 21 Savage,
Yeah.
Boz, JID, which makes sense. Those are like people
Yeah.
in his label.
It has that song with that girl singing.
I know what you're talking about. The music video was released like a week or so ago.
Recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is he? He's on Travis Scott's, isn't he?
I don't think so.
No, he's not?
I don't. I don't think so. You talking about like
Astro World?
Astro World? Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong on that.
What do you think about Travis Scott?
I like. He's oh man, dude. He falls into the category like he's so much. Now, give me a second to defend this. He's so much he so much like Kanye in my mind because he's very creative, and he does stuff that then people want to adapt and use for stuff because like he's just able to create really strange settings like with his music and put himself in them, but it doesn't always seem like he does much with these musical settings that he creates. Like he's a very, very good sound engineer, and you know, the rhythms that he's creating and these beat changes are just really cool, but I'm just never too entertained by what he's bringing from his vocals. It seems like he early on in his career like caught like a vocal styling, and he's just kind of stuck with that. And he stays with it, and that's not a bad thing. Like he's got like a brand with like his vocals, and that's really cool.
Yeah.
I definitely love like he's almost like Kid Cudi early in his career, where like every single song that he gets on, like it turns into a Kid Cudi song, or it turns into a Travis Scott song. Like he was on a track with James Blake recently.
Yeah.
And like
I think I saw that. I didn't click it though.
dude, and it's cool though, because
Yeah.
it's like a Travis Scott song, but it's like
James
Blake is
Blake.
in it, like, and James Blake, I think he might have already released the album, but he had the track with Travis Scott, and he's got a song with Andre 3000, which
Who?
James Blake.
Oh, what?
Yeah, dude, it's Where's the Catch, dude, and Andre 3000, like he's like my favorite.
You know, I've always been a sucker for like those hip hop artists that are like just fuck with different genre. Like my favorite, like crossover records, I guess you would call them.
Yeah.
But like my favorite is like Linkin Park and like Jay-Z. Like,
Yeah.
you know, the whole purpose of cross like promotion is like, oh,
Yeah.
I would have never known who Linkin Park. And like to this day, like if I hear like an old Linkin Park song, it was like, man, like thank you Jay-Z.
Yeah.
Like somebody's just gotten put on James Blake through fucking Andre 3000.
Or like Travis
Or like
Scott.
Travis Scott. So, you know.
Well, and I think that was so, like, that was like, if that's not marketing, like, I don't know what is. Like, you're gonna pick one of the, like, the dudes who released one of the most relevant songs in hip hop, like Sicko Mode.
Yeah,
like
that shit's-
everybody knows what
Yeah.
Sicko Mode is right now. And then James Blake does a song with them.
Right.
And then turns around and does one with one of the like old heads' favorite rappers.
Oh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
he's got old heads and new heads, and he released them within a couple weeks of each
Oh
other.
yeah, you're right. I did see that with
Yeah.
Andre. Yeah. Nah, yeah, he's definitely trying to capture some hip hop markets. You
Yeah.
know who Chris Delia is? Delia. He has this thing about Eminem. He was like,
Oh, Chris
of course
D'Elia.
I'm war
Chris-
torn.
Yeah.
But like lately, like, okay, I would have never discovered him.
He's like in his garage.
Yeah.
And he picks up. He's like
From
some
New
old
Jersey.
Yeah.
Like, these license plates from New Jersey.
Yeah.
Fucking you lacking a stamina while I'm pushing the Ford Taurus while I'm getting an abortion and a divorce at the same time as Harrison Ford. It's like, bro, if that don't sound like Eminem, like,
Yeah.
I feel like he was in a car, like, just like trying to like just rapping to Eminem. Just like the song cut off and it didn't like auto play to the next song, and he was just like kind of like doing his best impression and was like, this shit is hilarious. But yeah, like I think I discovered him through that hip hop channel. And like since I started following his page because the shit was that hilarious, I had to follow him.
Well, he's huge
been
right
doing
now.
it. Yeah,
he's huge. Yeah, he's a really big comedian right now.
Right.
Yeah.
I would have never known.
Yeah.
I don't care if you're on like SNL or I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I don't think SNL is funny. Fight me.
Dude, I'll stand with you on that. That's
Okay.
the whole thing.
I'm sorry. I like them individually, but like the whole like skit, they don't do it right. I like Dave Chappelle's skits. But I mean they got
Dude,
the
have you seen
audience.
Dave
now,
Chappelle's like
primetime
recent
television.
stand-ups that he's been releasing?
You talking about when he had that like 3 stand-up release run with Netflix or something newer than that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, those are his newest ones. I think
Yeah.
because he released 2 at like the same time, and then there was another one more recently that
Really?
got released. And I mean by recently, I mean in the past like 6 months or so.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like his big comeback. That was like his like he's back.
Yeah, and he's just jacked.
Yeah.
Like he's
smoking-
he's been doing major hormone replacement. Like that dude
don't-
is huge.
I don't know about all that, man, but I know like I just fuck with Dave, and like as a cigarette smoker, it's just like how the like my homeboy Slim went to like he was at the music hall, sold out the music hall like 3 days in a row, no phones, no anything. But like my friend was like, yeah, like because he was a sound engineer. He was like running sound for Dave Chappelle, which is kind of dope, honestly. Not running sound, but helping Charles and them at the music hall.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, like Dave Chappelle's just like chilling backstage in the room, just ripping cigs. And like music hall. So it's like, that's already funny. But then it's like, yeah, but he walks out still smoking. And it's just like, he's just talking.
He doesn't
It's
give a
just-
fuck.
Yeah, Dave Chappelle is a GOAT, man. Thank you for listening, Dave Chappelle.
Dude, if Dave Chappelle's listening to this, I've done something right.
Dave Chappelle's definitely listening to this.
Hell yeah. Thanks,
Yeah.
Dave.
He probably uses this for like his comedic inspiration. you know,
Yeah.
For sure.
Dude, but yeah, man, he's killing it. And then the dude who is the dude who's like I know Dave Chappelle has like a cokehead character, but then there's like the
Oh, you talking about Tyrone Biggums?
yeah, but then there's another guy who has like the crackhead.
That's Tyrone Biggums.
Well, yeah. So then there's another guy who's like it's not Dave Chappelle. It's another one of the comedians on the show. He's got like a crackhead character or whatever. I can't remember his
Ashy
name.
Larry?
Yes, that's it. Yeah,
I don't think he has a coke problem. I just think he's hella ashy. I don't know if that was a joke.
Oh, well, maybe I don't know. I
He-
can't remember. I know he's in like the dice rolling.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Okay, so he's just super ashy.
Yeah, he's just
Okay,
super ashy.
Okay. Well,
That's-
he like I just remember him selling all his clothes, and I couldn't remember what it was for, but it was for gambling. That's what it was. Okay. I mean, you see somebody who's half naked with white all over him, you expect there's drugs involved.
Right. I'm not saying.
No.
I'm not saying.
Yeah. But he like apparently he's about to release like a stand-up
Rollins.
special.
Darnell Rollins.
Boom. That's it. Yeah.
Boom. Roasted.
Yeah. But he's he's about to release a special too.
I wouldn't mind watching that. I like him.
Yeah.
He's funny.
He was hilarious.
Ashy Larry.
Apparently, like people still like run up to him and like
Yeah,
call
bro.
him
I
that.
bet. Bro, like those characters like will forever live. Like, and you know the
Yeah.
thing about the Dave Chappelle shows, like, I mean, it was during the whole internet age, but like right really before like content was a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like Dave Chappelle like kind of made his show like I like flexible content, or I think it's real cool to have flexible content.
What do you mean?
When I mean like we're gonna make a whole TV show. But the cool thing about the TV show is like the way we shoot it is like those mini clips can be used for YouTube clips. Like you might not want to watch the whole episode, so that's just more different. Or say like you have a cool song lyric and you turn it into a whole shirt, or like just flexible content, or kind of like, you know, just getting as much like water out of a sponge as you can, you know. But yeah, I think that his show is like super avant-garde in that regard. Like I think that's dope. And like you could watch his shows on YouTube, still think it's funny. You could watch the whole TV show, you could still think it's funny, and you could just kind of like, it's just flexible. I think it's fucking dope.
Yeah, I mean, gosh, the amount of times that you, like, just people in general, like, just end up back at Dave Chappelle, just being like, "Do you remember this bit?" Like,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Like every time I see him Sesame Street, all I can think about is him doing the Sesame Street bit, where that dude comes out of the trash can with the needle out of his head. Dude, that whole fucking thing.
Snuffleupagus was on smack.
Yeah, dude. Gosh.
He was on that shit. He was doing
It's
it.
hilarious.
Oh my god. This is real Joe Rogan-esque, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Do
watch
you
a lot.
like?
Yeah, I like Joe Rogan.
Every time I try to get into it, like it seems like I'm always lost. Like I don't never know. I don't never start it from the beginning.
Oh, that's your problem, man.
Yeah, I know. It's like, but like I just can't. I always am in the middle of it when somebody has it on, and it's just like, what the fuck is Joe Rogan? Joe Rogan's awesome.
He's cool to like. I mean, I like putting him on like when I like run or when
Really?
like I'm like doing like I'm like working in the kitchen. Like a lot of times in the mornings, like we only have one person in the kitchen, so I'm just cooking breakfast for people and prepping food, and I'll just have like a podcast over the speakers. I like his podcast. Your Mom's House is really cool. They're more like stupid. They just talk about like stupid stuff, and then like I really like Theo Vaughn. He's like this just like country dude, but he's just stupid. He's really funny.
Okay.
He's just really good. Like I like the funny podcast. He does another podcast called Rat King and the Bee Sting, and it's like him and this other comedian who used to be a UFC fighter, and they basically like either king it or sting it. They get like people send in all this stuff like, and you go on Instagram and like vote for it, and then they do their vote, and then they see what the Instagram gave them basically.
Oh,
and so yeah, but so yeah, I mean it's a cool little thing, and you know we're working on our podcast. This is number 22.
Nice.
Out of them. We've got this, and we've got I do like a little like radio type thing like every once in a while called Pina Radio. This is like Pineapple Podcast, and then we just recently, as I told you, like recently aired the first episode of Subtitled, which is my buddy's podcast on movies, and so
it makes so much sense as to why the
pineapple.
pineapple.
And the pineapple back there too.
Oh shoot, yo.
Yeah, we got all the pineapples, man.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
And that's like a Holy City thing. Or like it's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And dude, it was just random. Like,
Right.
yeah, I walked up, I asked a bartender, I was just like, name a thing. And she goes, what do you mean? And I was just like, say a thing. Like, what's a thing? And
Like a noun. Give me
yeah,
a noun.
And she goes, a pineapple. And I said, okay. And I just called it a Pineapple Podcast.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it was really cool. So I just ran with it. Now it's kind of like a brand or whatever, you know, whatever.
Keep going.
Yeah,
Keep
it's
going.
fun. Dude, you should come on, do a podcast on marketing or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sometimes it's just like I like look at it so much, and like I went to school for it, but like I'm still figuring it out. If I had to give any advice, I would just draw from my experiences, like as to how this hip hop shit's been playing out for me, because that's been my like project since I've been since 6th or 7th grade. So
Yeah.
getting me like a cool place with lights and cameras and stuff. Like
Yeah,
I guess
dude.
I'm marketing somewhat, right?
Yeah, let's do like a one of those like radio recording shows one time. Like, I'll
Yeah.
move this couch out of the way, and you can do some songs. And
Hell
we can
yeah,
put 'em
there's
up
like
on the
plenty
internet.
of like whiteboards in here for us to utilize.
Yeah.
I like whiteboards.
Dude, I love whiteboards.
Whiteboards are great.
Dude, I can't even, like, draw, but I love having whiteboards just so when people who can draw come by, they, like, draw a picture, and I just leave it up there. So I got that thing over there.
Is that like a three-eyed like Shrek?
Dude, I have no clue. I hope it's Shrek.
It's like Shrek mixed with Mike Wazowski.
Yeah. Yeah, like Mike Wazowski's coming out of a pimple out of his head or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
I don't know. But yeah, man, dude, I'm running a little low on time. So
Gotcha.
like, do you want to plug something, or you got any events you want to tell
yeah.
people about, or
Yeah. So March 1st, I don't know when this is gonna be released, but March 1st, I'm gonna be at Music Farm, and for their Den series for 1770 Records. March 2nd, I am going to be at the Purple Buffalo for their Cultivation 2. What else? I'm trying to go in order, but I'm probably gonna. So I know 420. Matt Monday and Benny Starr is throwing the Cultura Festival at the Royal American. It's gonna be like a awesome, badass festival. What else? You also got April 27th is gonna be the what is that shit called? Oh man, PBR is sponsoring it. It's gonna be lit. Shoot. PBR is gonna be at Redux, and that's a free show. It's like a all-day festival. It's gonna be free at Redux. Do you know what Redux is? You should fuck with Redux. Shout out to Redux. What else? I'm gonna be in Greenville for another festival.
what's that festival called?
That one's
Fuck
called.
with a lot of people in Greenville.
Do you? I went
Yeah.
up to Radio Room with Real South Records, the
Dude,
new
I know
one.
so many people who have performed in Radio Room.
Yeah,
Yeah. What's the lineup? You know the lineup for that Greenville show that you got?
Shoot no.
No.
Shoot no. I know.
Dude, I might be able to link you up with some people who might
Yeah.
you chill with some of my peeps up in
Hell
Greenville, because I know a lot of people who perform up there, a lot of people in bands.
I think that one's gonna be like Mayish, Aprilish.
Mhm.
I can't remember the Greenville.
Shoot me the deets on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like releasing like a concise, like a little. It's not like a tour date, but like just what dates I've got on the books.
Yeah.
Need to like come up with a cool way to make that look visually. But yeah,
Yeah.
just put that out.
Most of.
Maybe like sponsor it like around the time of each show, just so you can like see what's been had and done. But yeah, I'll let you know. Purple Buffalo, more singles. Purple Buffalo Rap Fest May 25th. More music. I'm working on my first visual with the homie Steven. I'm really excited about it. It's gonna be for like I don't want to say which one, but like it's pretty dope. The storyboarding that we've been kind of talking back and forth isn't too cliche. My music isn't like you can just get a room full of homies and get guns and jump around and just
Yeah.
like my music isn't
Buy the
necessarily
fake money stacks.
right,
Yeah.
right. So it's just like that guy and me has really been sitting down. So I'm excited to kind of release my first official like video.
Yeah.
More shows, more content, more podcasts, more homies,
Well,
a
hell
whole
yeah,
lot of
man.
gang shit.
Yeah, most dev. Dude, let's have you on again.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, that's been a Pineapple Podcast. Abstract That Rapper, Austin Hughes. Thank y'all for listening.